Wow, talk about your jet lag. It's hard to believe that yesterday we were in the French countryside, and today we're back in good old Los Angeles.
Someday I'm gonna take you back there.
Oh, honey, I know you will. I wasn't complaining.
Well, I am. That was our honeymoon.
It still is. We did absolutely the right thing coming home.
No question. This is where we belong for now. I just have trouble believing this happened to Mother.
Honey, her prognosis is great.
Well, thank God. She's far too young for this sort of nonsense.
Look, the doctor said that if she would just diet and exercise and keep her stress down, with the support of the family, she'll be fine. She'll probably be healthier than she was before.
Which is why it's so important that we stay nearby for now.
You don't think that you have to convince me of that, do you?
I know I don't.
Are you trying to convince yourself?
I guess it's just that no one's closer to Mother than I am.
I know, which is why we're doing exactly the right thing.
I doubt that Thorne would agree.
Well, your mother had a very close call, and that takes precedence over everything else right now. Besides, we're not living in the main house. We're out here in the guest house.
No, I know. I just wish it had turned out differently than it did.
It's just temporary, until your mother gets back on her feet.
You're right. As usual.
Well, didn't I tell you when you married me that you got a pretty good catch?
Lucky guy, I guess.
How would you like to get a little luckier?
Yeah? You're not gonna go off to work after all, huh?
Well, I'll go, but maybe I could go a little later.
Much later.
Well, that's good news, isn't it?
I didn't want her to die, Donna.
No, but you couldn't have felt much sympathy for her either, Brooke.
No, I can't say that I feel much sympathy for Stephanie. Not after what she's put me through.
It's ironic, isn't it? She's upstairs fighting for her life, and you're down here in your lab.
And as usual, she's winning her fight. Knowing her, she'll probably come out of the hospital healthier than she has ever been in her life.
The family's been in to see her, I gather.
Imagine so.
Have you talked to any of them?
Only Eric.
Did he mention Ridge?
Actually, he did.
What did he say?
That he and Caroline were on their way back from their honeymoon.
Why did he tell you that?
I'm really not sure.
Then Ridge could be here in this hospital, even as we speak.
Yeah, I hadn't considered it.
No, of course not.
It's over between us, Donna. Ridge is married. I've written him off. Completely.
Sure that I look presentable? I mean, really, how do I look?
Well loved.
Well loved?
Mm-hmm.
I better look that well loved, Ridge.
If you're worried about the people at work wondering if you just rolled out of bed, they will.
Really? Are you serious?
I
heard you two were out here.
Hey, come on in. Caroline's just on her way to work.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Hi. Come on in.
Why don't you just take a shower at work if you want to?
Really? Bye.
Bye.
You're awfully quiet all of a sudden.
Am I?
You don't believe me, do you? That I've seriously written off Ridge.
I'd like to believe you, Brooke.
Donna, I'm not a fool. Yes, I loved that man. More than I like to admit, even to myself. And after we broke up, I still fantasized about him. But the day he told me that he was marrying Caroline, the hurt was so deep, so consuming. I'll never let myself go through that again. Not with Ridge or anyone.
You're never gonna fall in love again?
I'm never going to give myself that completely to any other man. So it's over, so let's drop the subject, okay?
Mr. Forrester sure has been a source of consolation, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
I mean, the way he reacted when he found out the way his wife was treating you and Mother.
Well, how else did you expect him to react?
Oh, I mean, I wasn't surprised. Not in terms of Mother. I mean, he loved her very much. And what Stephanie did to her was just downright cruel. But the way he reacted to you.
What are you saying?
Just that it was nice of Mr. Forrester to be so sensitive.
There's more to what you're saying, isn't there, Donna?
Like what?
You're right. It is nice of Eric to be so sensitive. But that's all he was being. Sensitive.
That's what I said.
Well,
I better get going. There's someone I want to see before class. I'll catch you tonight, okay? My brother in a bathrobe. Sending the wife off to work.
And you love it.
That's decent. But it's not Ridge.
Don't get your hopes up too high, kiddo. Ridge hasn't changed that much.
But you truly did marry this girl.
She is a woman.
Of course.
And yes, I did marry her.
What, is she pregnant?
No.
Oh, so you married for love?
Is that hard to believe?
Well, not for Thorne, but for you? Yeah. I remember when you met Caroline, just before I left for Europe the last time.
It was over 3 years ago.
Yeah, I sensed there was something different about this one.
Wasn't my usual self?
Yeah, you were almost human.
Almost.
And then I got the word that you and Caroline were getting married, and then that she left you at the altar, and then that she was going to marry Thorne. I'd say a few things have happened in this family since I've been gone.
Yeah, quite a few.
Not the least of which is Mother and Dad. I mean, when I left, I gave them a year, maybe 18 months at the most.
They weren't happy.
They were miserable. Yeah, but all that seems to have changed. I mean, they're as close as I have ever seen them.
on in. Eric.
Hi, Brooke. Do you have a minute?
Yes. Please, come on in.
Why is that, Ridge? Why are Mother and Dad so close now?
Oh, they're finally coming to appreciate each other.
Well, it's certainly taken them long enough.
Felicia, it's hard. Spending all your life building a business, raising your kids, never any time for each other.
I guess that's a lesson for all of us.
I'm just glad they're finally getting it together. God knows Mother's gonna need it now.
It's amazing, isn't it, how things work out? I mean, if Mother had to have this problem, it couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, as far as her relationship with Dad is concerned.
That the fact that you're home for the first time in years?
Well, someone seems to be watching out for this family.
Well, I want to get over to the hospital.
You know, there's still a part of you that I know nothing about.
What part is that?
The woman you gave up for Caroline.
I'll tell you about her someday.
Well, she must have been very important to you.
Like I said, I will tell you about her someday. Now, I'm going to take a shower. You know where the door is?
Yeah.
Good.
Donna.
Look, if this is a bad time, I can always come.
No, this is a great time. Come on in.
I just felt like I needed to see you. How are you doing, Thorne?
So you heard about Mother.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
Well, she's doing a lot better.
So I heard.
You heard? From whom?
Well, I just talked to Brooke.
How would Brooke know?
Her lab is in the same hospital that your mother's in.
Oh, that's right.
So how's your family holding up?
We are hanging in there. All of us.
Your dad?
Donna, I think I made a big mistake. A big mistake. God help me if I did.
I was just upstairs. I was looking in on Stephanie.
I understand her prognosis is good.
Yes, it is, and I thank God for that.
Oh, Eric, I wish there was something I could say. I know what you must be going through.
Do you, Brooke? I mean, yesterday at this time, I was planning a dinner for my wife and myself. Dinner in the theater. And I was looking forward to it. In a way that I hadn't looked forward to going out with her in something like 5 years. Stephanie and I were finally getting our marriage and our commitment right back on track. And I relished it. I relished it, and I was very excited about it. And now today, she's lying up there in a hospital bed. And she's suffering. And she's looking to me for support. And she's very excited about getting better so that she can come home and we can pick up where we left off. But quite honestly, Brooke, as horrible as it might sound, I'm having a very difficult time feeling anything at all for Stephanie.
A mistake? What kind of mistake, Thorne?
I don't know why I did it, except that I was so damned upset with him. Actually, with both of them.
With both of whom? Thorne, what are you talking about?
My dad and his involvement with your mother. And my mother's awareness of it all and how she took it out on Brooke and your family.
You told your father about all of that.
Well, not exactly. But I said enough to send him to Brooke, and she told him everything.
And you don't think that your father deserved to know what your mother did to my family?
Obviously, I did. And that's why I said something. But now I wish I hadn't.
Why?
Because of what it might do to my family, Donna. Mother and Dad, for the first time in years, they're getting along. They're actually being warm toward one another, like they really care.
Maybe this is my fault. I mean, if I hadn't told you everything in the first place...
No, you had to tell me. And I never want anything kept from me. Not after what I lived through last year.
Don't you think your father deserves the same thing?
I know this is a double standard, but in this particular case, I have to say no. Not when it means the dissolution of my family, and it might.
Do you know how much your father has said to her?
Well, I know that he was on his way to talk to her and confront her, and he found her unconscious.
What do you think he'll do?
I don't know. But I do know one thing. She won't survive if he leaves her. I'm certain of it.
She'll survive, Thorne. Stephanie is one of the strongest women I know. I think she could survive just about anything.
Well, let's just hope she doesn't have to.
Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be here laying all this on you.
Eric, I understand.
It's just that I don't have anyone else to talk to about this. You're the only person that knows about all of this, except for Thorne, and God knows I can't talk to him about it.
He feels that his family is being threatened.
Oh, yes, he does. And he and his sisters and his brother are so supportive of Stephanie and our marriage, especially now that she's in the hospital.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. All night long, I've been trying to take on the responsibility for all this. But then I think of you. And I think of your father and your mother and everything that Stephanie has done to all of you. Manipulating your lives and shattering your family, not just any family, your family. I know the bond you share. I know that from Beth, and I know that from you. And I keep thinking to myself that anybody who ever tried to do that to my family, I would want to kill. Certainly, I would never be able to look at that person again as my friend, let alone my wife. And yet, that's what my children are asking of me. That's what they need from me. Because their mother is in a crisis. Oh, God, Brooke, what am I going to do? I guess I just have to fight to stay sane. What else is there?
Eric, everything's gonna be okay.